I am excited, Russ.
Why are you excited, Tom?
Because we have a new series we're doing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you didn't even know about it.
No, I didn't. Are you telling me about a new series now?
Right now, on the table, live, on camera.
I hope I can keep up.
Let me explain to you what's going on, Russ.
Sure.
Over at comicbookinvest.com, CBSI, this crew is putting together some amazing content. What do I mean by that? They have articles coming out on the regular, every day. They have series of articles that come out weekly, monthly, and a lot of good stuff is coming out.
And actually, I know they just hired 3 new writers, so there's going to be even more new content coming out on a very consistent basis.
Exactly. And one of the writers, shout out Topher, puts together an amazing list every week. And what we're going to do is bi-weekly, we're going to cover the last 2 pieces of work that he's put out because he is bringing some value to the comic book community.
That's good.
So what is Topher doing? Topher puts out an article called True Firsts. True First. Are you familiar with this?
I know the concept. We kind of did one, which was the first appearance of the black suit Spider-Man, and everyone thinks about Secret Wars number 8, but there's a bunch of times it happens before then. So a true first is we may consider this a first appearance, but when did it actually come out first?
And for collectors, that is really important. I mean, I'm a Hellboy collector. I have the Sin City Dame to Kill for 3 up hanging up on my office for a reason.
Right.
You know, like I want to have the true first.
Yeah.
And Topher puts together this list every week. So we're going to be covering it bi-weekly. And I think we should dive into it because there's a lot of value in this list.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's just jump into it. We have a handful of true first comic books to tell you about. The first one, Action Comics 601, the first appearance of Secret Six in the Copper Age.
Well, that's cool because we actually had the Secret Six, the Silver Age appearance, show up on the Hot 10 list recently because there is a greenlit show in development of Secret Six, but here's a Copper Age appearance, which means it came out in the 80s or 90s.
Some people would think like, oh, this is a Copper appearance of a team, a newer team. Maybe this isn't going to spike, but you know what I think of? I think of the Legends run. I think of that Suicide Squad appearance. You know, like we do have later revisions of teams that end up spiking comic books because of maybe another team, an alternative team is getting press and being put on the screen.
Well, the article actually says that this appearance tells you Mockingbird's identity, which actually wasn't revealed in the Silver Age. And that's a fantastic thing because if CBS actually does the show the way that we think they're going to, this could be a good one to stash away because like a lot of those Suicide Squad books that are spiking, this is another one of those books that it's a sleeper now and it could really, really be worth something in the near future.
And it's affordable.
Yep, very affordable.
All right. We also have word of The Lion, The Witch, and The Wardrobe hitting Netflix sometime soon. Now, this is a book, obviously, but they do have a comic book appearance, don't they?
So yeah, there's a comic book adaptation of The Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, and this came out in, the late 80s, and there was a BBC television version of this years and years ago, and when I was much younger, they told me I looked like one of the children in it. Don't screenshot that at all, but I probably do.
Oh, there's a meme right here.
Oh my God, and the book's been around since, C.S. Lewis wrote it a very, very long time ago. And this is a popular book.
Classic.
The movie came out, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and they only made a couple of the movies, and it's a 7-book series, and I think they only made 3 of the movies, and hopefully Netflix will be able to get this to keep moving. But the comic book adaptation, it's going to be a fun, easy read. It's something that's very kid-friendly as well.
A little bit bigger. It's like a graphic novel. I
Yeah,
believe.
absolutely, to be able to do that. And the books are accessible. They're children's novels, but something that's easier to get into, especially if you have younger kids and want to get them into this story. It's a fantastic story. It's a fantastic book. And the graphic novel is going to be pretty easy to find.
All right, so first appearance of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Bet you didn't expect to hear that today.
Not
all right,
at all.
We're moving on. Another big surprise over this last couple weeks is the recent spiking of Dark Avengers #1, the first appearance of Iron Patriot.
Right.
Now, this book hasn't spiked since Iron Man 3 when that came out, and
Okay.
we know how that went. So it was interesting to see Dark Avengers 1 spike recently, not because of Iron Patriot, but because of the Dark Avengers title. We may have something happening, some screenplays confirmed about a Dark Avengers run. Now, because we have Iron Patriot, we do have Jim Rhodes as Iron Patriot at one point, and the first appearance of Jim Rhodes as Iron Patriot is Gambit issue number 13, an affordable book. And it's tying to the Dark Avengers run. So this is a great book to be on here because, for one, no one's looking for it.
Right.
It is a minor key, and a minor key tied to something that is likely going to hit cinema.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it being on the list.
Yeah, that's very, very good. So what would a hot 10 or top 10 or just any list that Tom and I do without a Donny Cates appearance?
Oh, Donny Cates has to make an appearance in every
single list.
Every single
it has
list.
to happen.
Oh,
Donny.
and how do you feel about this one being on the list?
This is amazing. So, we all know that Donny Cates did the book God Country with Image, and he's done some stuff for Aftershock and stuff for Image, and we know that he's killing it in the Marvel Universe right now. The first preview of God Country happened to be in the Image Comics Plus number 7.
No.
This is something that Tom and I have used as packing material because Image Comics, their preview catalog is actually a great one because it's nice and it crumples up. So in your mystery mail call, you may very well have a crumpled copy of this.
There's
Now,
a really good chance that in
there's a
multiple
good
mystery mail
chance,
calls,
but
there's pages from this in there.
the cover was of Curse Words, which is a fantastic story and a great concept. And the interior, there was a preview of Donny Cates' God Country.
It happens.
It does. There are people on eBay right now looking to get $25 a piece for these.
None have sold for $25, so no worries.
No, they haven't. They're selling in
we
$2 to $3 range,
Yeah,
but still.
But still, like, but you know what? You're at a shop. If you kept all the stuff you're supposed to give out that gets dated, it would, like, you wouldn't be able to buy comic books.
You would have to have a warehouse. And truthfully, for the 5 to 10% of things that actually end up spiking eventually, you're holding on to a warehouse full of stuff, and with your storage and with everything and the fire hazard you're having, no, it's not even worth it. Just get rid of it.
All right. So we gotta move on. If anyone has that, I want to know in the comment section below if they keep those previews, because one of those previews may be worth something.
I give them away for free at the shop. Any of the subscribers can just take them from me.
Yeah, put your answers in the comment section below. I want to hear from you. I want to know if you have this God Country preview. We know you're getting God Country. People have been buying God Country like crazy, finding good deals on that. All right, so this next one's actually really fun. We have Bruno Mannheim making the list. Okay, this character was mentioned in Arrow as like part of a conversation when talking about how a lawyer took down a group of thugs.
Yeah.
And Mannheim was mentioned. Now, that happened before. Recently, we have Bruno being mentioned in Supergirl as someone who had been affiliated with and done business with Lex Luthor in the past. So 2 times in 2 different series being mentioned, Bruno Mannheim is coming into the Arrowverse. And what was his first appearance? Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, issue number 139.
So that was later in the run for Jimmy Olsen, and a lot of those were done by Jack Kirby. And we know that Jack Kirby's Fourth World, Jack Kirby's appearance of Darkseid and the New Gods and all of that other stuff are wrapping in, and Darkseid's being alluded to in the DC movie universe. So we now have TV universe talking about him. The movie universe has potential because, again, they're bringing in Jack Kirby's Fourth World. So this is another one of those first appearances, those true firsts that you should be paying attention to.
Well put, Russ. Well put. And this next one on the list is super interesting. We have Cyberforce Sourcebook number 2.
When's the last time you had anyone tell you that you should pick up a Cyberforce comic?
Never.
I like Silvestri. Cyberforce is great. Silvestri kickstarted it and did super good, fun read, nice, very 90s art, but good 90s art. Right. There was definitely some 90s artists that weren't so great. But the Cyberforce Sourcebook 2 predates Witchblade number 10 for the first appearance of Jackie Estacado, who is the Darkness. Now, I personally like the Darkness a lot because there was that Xbox game.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
It was so much fun.
There
it was a first-person shooter.
Was on 360?
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I didn't even connect those. That's the same.
It is the same Darkness, Jackie Estacado, who is actually shown in some art, and it's not really mentioned, and it doesn't talk a lot about the background of the story. And if you want the first appearance where he's introduced in the story, check out Witchblade number 10. That's a great one. We know that's hot. We know that's been great. But there is actually art done by Silvestri that predates this by quite some time, a few months even, and that's in Cyberforce Sourcebook number 2.
Oh, it's like a pinup. Very cool. And that reminds me of them. This isn't on the list here, but we do know that Omega Red is going to be hitting the screen.
Sure.
I mean, we've seen pictures. Very likely that this is going to be happening now. He first appeared in X-Men number 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what a lot of people think. But similar to this Cyberforce Sourcebook number 2, you know how X-Men 1 had multiple covers?
Yeah, there were a ton of covers, and there was a gatefold one, and they all kind of like linked together. Yeah.
They're connected.
Mm-hmm.
There were 4 different covers. One of the covers features Cyclops. In that one, because all 4 covers had different pinups in the centerfold.
Right.
That pinup in the Cyclops X-Men number 1 Cyclops cover has Omega Red in the pinup. So that right there is the first appearance of Omega Red in
So
the Marvel Universe.
3 months before X-Men #4 comes out with the first appearance of Omega Red, you have a poster with Omega Red on it.
Boom.
That is awesome.
We're going to go even deeper here outside of this list. I apologize, but this is just really good info. Explain the Jim Lee Wolverine claws, because
Jim Lee answered this question. Someone asked him on Twitter, hey, is there a reason why Wolverine has both claws out in one cover and only one claw out in the other cover? And Jim Lee basically says, yeah, it was out of respect to Captain America, because the little, newsstand price sticker was Captain America's head. And he's like, yeah, I just didn't really want to have Wolverine sticking claws into Cap's head.
it's a good reason. But it's really funny. So you have just like one without claws.
Right. So yes,
Interesting.
if you need all the cover variants, make sure you get the gatefold and the newsstand.
All right, Russ, hit us with Buena Vista Lab #2. What is going on with this book?
Okay, so this is an interesting one, and it's a little confusing, but Buena Vista Lab #2 and potentially Mad Magazine #441 are the first appearance of Alias. Now, this is the Alias Jennifer Garner character. There's going to be a new movie with the Jennifer Garner character. Now, this is not to be confused with the Alias #1.
This isn't Jessica Jones.
With the first appearance of Jessica Jones. We do have two things that happen to be named Alias that are still a little bit different. It's not Jessica Jones'
the
Alias.
cover kind of looks like the Alias cover too.
It totally does.
Kinda weird.
Yeah, it's all right. That's why it's very, very confusing. But yes, they are different characters. But yes, if you have the opportunity, it looks like Buena Vista Lab #2 might be Italian only. I couldn't find any English printings of it.
I couldn't find any for sale.
It's a very low print run type thing, but yes, she is on the cover. There are a couple great Italian writers who took the character and were able to turn her into a comic book. With the new Alias reboot coming out, these comic books might be moving.
All right, finishing up this list strong. We have Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse causing another book to just come up in the community. Is this spiking? No. Is this something that's going to go up in value? I personally don't think it will, but we're bringing it up now because I think this is interesting. I think this is fun. And I'll tell you one thing. I put it through my Hellboy filter. You know that I collect Hellboy. I bring this up all the time. If Hellboy had a popsicle that came out in the 90s that I bought all the time, I would want the first appearance in comic books of the Hellboy popsicle.
I'm sure you would.
I would pay an inflated amount and have Mignola sign it and get it graded at 9.8. I would do it. So coming on the
mushy
list.
pile of
No,
Hellboy.
not the actual popsicle. I mean, like the ad. If it was an ad.
I thought you were going to get the popsicle graded.
Just, Mignola, will you sign my Hellboy popsicle?
Set my popsicle, put it
It's
back
like-
on dry ice.
I have like a container of dry ice I have to redo. Okay, anyways. So we have Amazing Spider-Man issue #496, the first appearance of the Spider-Man popsicle. Why is this coming up now? Because we saw the preview. Peter Parker eating his face, eating that popsicle
Yep.
that I thought was a really good popsicle. It has those gumball eyes.
Mhm.
It's cool. Did you know that it first appeared here in this comic book? Yeah, actually, this may be the first appearance in comics of it. I think the popsicle came out well before the comic book. That would make more sense. But first appearance in comics, issue #496.
That's amazing.
Jump on it.
Jump on it. Yes. And just as an added bonus, and I know you're going to cut this out, but there is an indie movie called NBT, Never Been Thawed, and it is about a group of people, actually two opposing groups of people who fight each other. They collect TV dinners. They keep them frozen. They have special deep freezers, and there are special TV dinners with different printings, and they keep them in their freezers, and they collect them. So yes,
Oh my
if
gosh.
you want to talk about getting a popsicle graded, they've already made a movie about people who collect TV dinners and keep them frozen. So yeah, there is a collectible market out there for everyone.
Oh, you gotta love these deep cuts. And we're gonna keep that in. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. And as always,
Geek responsibly.
hit cbsi.comicbookinvest.com. Great info. Looking forward to doing more lists, coverage. Thank you, Topher, for the list. Enough said. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'm really curious to know what you thought of this new series. Please put your answers in the comment section below. And I also wanted to show you this. Take a look at this. DCU 20 pack. After we made that DCU Universal logo variant video, the link's right there, I got a 20 pack, and I'm so stoked to open this up on camera for you guys. That's it. Just wanted to let you guys know that, and I'm excited.